Hi, I've got another weird old saxophone to show you. You may have seen a quick video about this, but I wanted to post a more in-depth video about this tenor saxophone. This is a Buffet Crampon, Yvette Schaefer made tenor saxophone from around 1914, 1915. Buffet actually made a lot of saxophones back in the day. So you may have seen my other videos where I have two baritones, one sort of hiding back there from 1915 and another one from 1905 with some really strange different things than modern saxophones, and this has a lot of those same things. So it actually has two octave keys. One is actually missing, so this would have had two separate octave keys you would have to change depending on what register you're in, and I can't play the saxophone for you because it's missing an entire key. Also, the neck just doesn't seal. It's been quite damaged and needs a lot of work. But other weird things, so it's just like the other ones, it doesn't have pearls, it just has metal key touches. The key guard, or the guards are different in that the felt or the cork is just right on there, instead of like held in place like some modern saxophones, either Selmers or glued felts like Cons. Obviously the shape of the palm keys is a little bit different. Look at this, the A flat or G sharp key in the left hand, that's super weird. This left hand pinky table is super crazy. That's not the weirdest thing about the saxophone. There's something really crazy about the saxophone that is very unique. So this is actually a saxophone with a system called the Apogee system, or Apogee, I think it's Apogee, where it has these crazy different keys in the right hand. So normally you have the right hand, you have 1, 2, 3, and then you have some pinky keys and maybe a side key you can play. This has what are kind of like sliver keys on a clarinet. If you look at closely here, you might see there's 3 keys here, 1, 2, 3. And you'll also notice here it's laid out a little bit differently. So the way you would normally play this is like 1, 2, 3, I think, or 1, 2, 3, I'm not sure. And you'll notice there's like a pad on a pad here. So you can close both of them, or you can do this just to close one. I believe that's an alternate way of playing E flat, I think. So instead of the normal fingering with the pinky, you could do that. Not 100% sure, but I think that's what that is. But also, if you look here, you can play 1 and 3 and it closes all these, which leaves your middle finger free to play these 3 sliver keys. What do? Well, if you push this, all of a sudden you've got low B flat. So even without anything in the left hand, I can close all the keys. So I don't need my left pinky to play low B flat. The key in the middle does low B, and the key on the bottom here does C sharp. Let's see if I can show you that better. There it is, C sharp. So just by playing those 3 sliver keys, I can do low B flat, low B, or low C sharp. Why would you want to do that? It's probably easier to trill as opposed to moving your pinky and doing that, or for quick leaps, or just alternate fingerings. You know, say you had to move from B flat to C sharp. Instead of, you know, sliding your pinky, you could do B flat to C sharp, or, you know, alternate things like that between B and B flat. Maybe instead of sliding between B and B flat, you could do B flat to B here. I'm trying to think of reasons to do it. That's what comes to mind. So crazy weird saxophone. And I actually have the catalog that goes with this. I posted some other things from this fun catalog. This is the Carl Fischer catalog from, I think, around the late 20s, 1926. So the saxophone, even though it was listed in 1914, they still made it for at least a decade or so afterwards. And in this book, there's a section. There's a lot of crazy things in this book. I made a separate video about all the weird things in this book. But you could buy Carl Fischer saxophones, or you could buy Buffet saxophone. Carl Fischer distributed Buffet. And if you look in this book, you'll actually see on this page here, they talk about this whole system, and they give you a fingering chart and everything, how it works. So it was just a thing they did, they advertised, that disappeared into the saxophone world. There's multiple fingering systems that occurred on the saxophone. I've seen on the right hand you have E flat, C, and there would have been a 3rd key for C sharp in the right hand pinky that exists. There's all sorts of other things that existed that fell out somehow and didn't get put into the mainstream. So what you see on a current saxophone is not everything that's ever happened on a saxophone. There are strange, weird things that got got left out in the evolution, not necessarily because they were bad. Some of them are really great, but they just didn't catch on for whatever reason. So another crazy weird saxophone for you. Again, I can't play it, tell you what it sounds like, because it needs a whole reped. It's missing a key. It's I don't know that I'll ever get it back in playing shape, but just wanted to share that with you because I'd never seen one in person.